Greetings YouTube, Simon here, and welcome to another Final Fantasy VIII video. Just before we get started, a big shout out and thank you to everybody who supports me on Patreon and or as a YouTube member. So I just put out a video talking about the fact that the game has now been officially announced to be coming on September the 3rd this year, so just 2 weeks away. But Square have also, along with that release date, given us some new screenshot comparisons as well. So credit goes to Twisted Voxel, which is the website I'm using to show you these comparisons. I'll leave a link to the original article in the video description. We're going to start with the first screenshot, and this is an image from the PlayStation version of the game. And perhaps this is the one that makes sense to show first, because there is quite a notable change here that I want to explain to you. And if we go to the remastered version, maybe you'll spot it straight away, and it's definitely to do with Squall's hair. Now, this has been a contentious issue since the remaster's been announced. Personally, I'm not too bothered by it. I think the remodels look great. I'm looking forward to playing the game, but I know a lot of you have been quite upset by the fact that Square have decided to radically change Squall's hair for this remaster, and I think that shines through in this particular screenshot, perhaps even more than usual. I mean, if we take a look at the original version of his hair and compare it now to the remastered version, even the colour is completely changed. To me, his hair in this image just looks black. It's not even a more subtle use of the brown that we're used to, it's just completely black, which is a little bit strange. I thought maybe this was something to do with a filter they'd applied to the screenshot, but I don't think it is, because the other colours seem unaffected. Even Irvine, you can see a little bit of his brown hair coming through under his hat there, and in the remastered screenshot it's still the same colour. But anyway guys, to me, like I say, that's neither here nor there, but I know a lot of you folks are not happy about that, and I don't think seeing this kind of screenshot is really going to help you alleviate those fears. In terms of the other details though, I really do like what they're doing with these characters, and it seems to me that these aren't, just upscales, perhaps like we've seen with some of the fan mods, and I'm not putting the fan mods down. I love the fan mods for Final Fantasy VIII, I've done a lot of videos on them, but obviously Square have more resources and are going to do things a little bit differently. So I do believe that a lot of these models have been drawn from scratch. I could be wrong, but there's just so much extra detail in some of the details that I don't think it can just be a meager upscale. We can see that here in Irvine's necklace. I mean, it's a different shape, so it looks to me like it has been redrawn. We've got all these extra details on Squall's shoes and on his belt and what have you, that just didn't even exist back on these original models. So, that's the thing that I'm thinking of anyway. Right, so if we go on to the next screenshot here, this one is where Laguna and his cronies are waiting, I believe, to speak to Alone, and they're in the bar here. And if we have a look at the remastered screenshot, one thing that is notable here is the extra detail on the faces. Laguna and Ward in particular, since they're looking more directly at the screen, we can see there's a huge improvement as to how these characters look. I mean, Ward there, bless him, looks a little the worse for wear, doesn't he? But here in the remastered screenshot, he looks just so much better. One thing I would have liked to have seen with the remaster, and it's something that always seems to take a back seat when Square remaster the Final Fantasy games from PS1, and that's the backgrounds. I know I'm being a little bit nitpicky, because it's great that we're getting a remaster at all. They were going to re-release Final Fantasy VIII initially, just in its original form. So I'm glad that they have remastered the character models and the dialogue boxes. But yeah, I think it's a shame that the backgrounds, as far as I can tell anyway, have pretty much just been left as they always were. But yeah, so I like this screenshot, I like the extra details we can see. Let's move on to the next, shall we? I should also mention as well that I do like the font that's being used in these dialogue boxes in the remastered screenshots. It's fairly simple, and yeah, it's very clear and succinct. So some of the fan mods, again, are brilliant, but perhaps try and spruce things up a little bit too much, and the font can be a little bit unreadable, not because it's not sharp, but just because of the actual font itself. So I'm glad that Square have decided to keep things simple there. Okay, so here we have the Guardian Force Bahamut being summoned, and this is the PS1 screenshot, and this is the remastered screenshot. So yeah, we can definitely see that that's a nice higher res model. We can see the extra detail on the wings here, which I do like, I have to say. So we'll move on. Get rid of that one. Okay, so here is Squall unleashing one of his limit breaks. And, you know, he means business. Let's take a look at the HD remaster. And immediately, of course, his face is going to be the main focus of the upscale here. I mean, either he's got his eyes closed there, or they've kind of popped out of the back of his head because they seem to be non-existent. But they're certainly present and accounted for here with the HD remaster release. And yeah, his hair looks brown again here. So I'm not sure what's going on with that screenshot, you know. His hair definitely looks black. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm going colourblind. But yeah, seems to be a little bit of inconsistency there. Okay, interesting. We'll have to wait until the final release to see how it's going to look, I suspect. I like the weapon as well, though. Is that the Lionheart or the Leonheart? I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, I like that. The effects on it look pretty awesome. Okay then, guys, so they're the screenshots anyway that Square have shared with us. I'll be interested in hearing your thoughts down in the comments below. In particular, what you make of Squall's hair, and whether it's something that you're happy with, you know, or whether it's something that just doesn't bother you either way, or whether it's something that's, you know, annoying for you that it seems to have been changed so drastically. But thanks for stopping by, checking out the video, guys. If you want to see more Final Fantasy VIII content, make sure you check out more videos right now. Goodbye.
This sounds like you're having fun.